When we talk about life after 60, it seems like the conversation always gravitates toward a few key topics: money, travel, maybe picking up a new hobby. And look, those things are absolutely important, but they're not the whole story. In this explainer, we're going to get into the one asset that truly, truly defines your happiness in this chapter of life. Something way more important than what's in your bank account. And that's your mindset. We're going to talk about how to really, truly thrive.
This right here. This idea is the bedrock for everything we're about to cover. Let's just sit with it for a second. A fulfilling life after 60 isn't something that just happens to you because you retired or because you saved enough money. It's something you actively manufacture on the inside by changing the way you think. Now, this isn't about some kind of vague positive thinking. This is about consciously building the mental frameworks that create real joy and resilience every single day, no matter what's going on around you. It's an active, internal job, and honestly, it's the most powerful work you can possibly do.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll dig into that surprising truth I just mentioned. Then we'll take a hard look at the old operating system. That's the mindset that probably got you this far but might be holding you back now. Then we get to the good stuff, the 4 essential upgrades you need. We'll talk about how to actually install them, what you'll gain from it, and we'll wrap up with one simple, concrete first step you can take the minute this is over.
All right, let's dive right into part 1, a surprising truth. We're going to talk about something called the paradox of a successful retirement. It's a feeling so many people have, but they don't always have the words for it.
Think about it. You've spent decades working your tail off, saving, planning, doing all the right things. On paper, you've totally won the game. The house is paid for, the kids are grown, and you finally have that financial freedom you dreamed about. And yet, there's this quiet, nagging feeling, isn't there? A little bit of anxiety that creeps in when things get too quiet. You might actually dread the huge open spaces on your calendar. You might fear losing your sense of purpose, of becoming irrelevant. This clash between all your external success and this internal anxiety, that's the paradox we need to solve. And the answer isn't another vacation. It's right inside your own head.
So, what's actually causing this feeling? Well, that brings us to our second section. The root of this problem is often something we can call our old operating system, the very mindset that made you so successful for so many years. But here's the twist. We're about to see why that exact same mindset can now become a huge liability. Okay, so look at this contrast. For most of our lives, we run on what you could call the striving mindset. It's like your career's operating system. It's all about achievement and accumulation, getting the next promotion, the bigger paycheck, the corner office. Your validation, your sense of worth, it comes from the outside world. Your job title, a pat on the back from your boss. And you have to be rigid and controlling to get things done, right? But in retirement, that system starts to crash. There are no more ladders to climb. That external validation, it just vanishes. And trying to control a world that is fundamentally uncontrollable, well, that's just a recipe for frustration. The alternative is the appreciation mindset. Here, the focus shifts from getting more to enjoying what you have. Validation comes from inside, and your mode becomes flexible, adaptive, so you can find peace even when life gets messy.
So let's be really clear about the psychological earthquake that's happening here. First, there's a huge loss of external validation. Your identity was wrapped up in being a manager, a teacher, an expert. When that's gone, that question of who am I now feels really big. Then there's the paradox of all this unstructured time. You dreamed of it for years, but a whole week with nothing on the calendar can feel like a black hole, which leads to this urgent need to find new, internal ways to measure a good day, a life of value. But here's the most hopeful part of this whole thing: neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't set in stone. It is literally designed to learn new ways of thinking at any age. This isn't just some challenge you have to survive. It is a wide open invitation for incredible personal growth.
And that scientific fact leads us right into the most important part of our talk today, the 4 essential upgrades. This is where we stop diagnosing the problem and we start building the solution. It's time to install your new OS.
I really want this to sink in. Your mindset isn't just a bunch of random thoughts. It is the fundamental operating system that runs your entire experience of life. I mean, think about it. 2 people can experience the exact same thing, let's say a rainy day. One person's OS processes it as gloomy and depressing, another's processes it as cozy and peaceful. The rain is the same, the operating system is what's different. And the best news in the world is that just like the software on your computer, it can be consciously upgraded. You are not stuck with the old version. You have the power to install an update.
So here they are. These are the 4 core upgrades that make up this new system. We're going to go through them one by one, but let's just look at them together first. They are huge shifts in how you see the world. From accumulation to appreciation, from control to adaptation, from doing to being, and from scarcity to abundance. Each one is a deliberate step away from that old career mindset and a step toward a much more fulfilling way of living.
Let's dig into the first upgrade, moving from accumulation to appreciation. For decades, the goal was always about getting more. More money, a bigger house, a nicer car. There's nothing wrong with that, but this upgrade is about consciously shifting your focus. It's about learning to find real wealth not in what you own, but in what you experience. It's about savoring the simple stuff, the pure joy in a conversation with a friend, the incredible color of a sunset that you actually stop and watch, the satisfaction of learning something new just for the heck of it. It's redefining what wealth really means.
The second upgrade is a game changer, moving from control to adaptation. That old career mindset, it loves control. It wants to manage every single variable. But life, especially after 60, is full of things we just can't control. Our health, the economy, what our grown kids decide to do. Trying to control the uncontrollable is a fast track to stress. The adaptive mindset, on the other hand, shifts the focus to the one thing you always control, your internal reaction. It's about gracefully accepting what you can't change and focusing your energy on how you respond. That shift, right there, is where peace is found.
Upgrade number 3 might be the deepest one, shifting from doing to being. For most of our lives, we feel like our value is tied to what we do, our productivity, our accomplishments, our busy schedules. That's who we are. This upgrade is an invitation to find just as much value, if not more, in simply being, in quiet moments, in being truly present with people you love, in sharing the wisdom you've gathered over a lifetime. It's about realizing that your worth as a person was never actually tied to your to-do list. It's inherent. This frees you up to enjoy stillness without feeling guilty about it.
And our final upgrade is the shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. It is so easy to look at the years ahead and see time as something that's just running out. That's scarcity thinking, and it just breeds fear. The abundance mindset flips that script completely. It sees every day not as time lost, but as a precious opportunity, an opportunity for growth, for learning, for connection, for contribution. It's not about being naive about time, it's about choosing to focus on the incredible potential within the time you do have. This turns fear into possibility.
Okay, so understanding these 4 upgrades is one thing, but knowing isn't the same as doing, right? So that brings us to section 4, installing your new mindset. This is where we get practical. How do we actually make these shifts happen in our real everyday lives? Let's get into the tools.
Let's start with a couple of tools. To install appreciation, try a daily gratitude audit. This is more than just feeling thankful. At the end of every day, write down 3 specific, non-material joys. Not just my family, but the way my grandson laughed at that silly joke. The specificity is what matters because it literally trains your brain to start looking for the good stuff. Now, to install adaptation, use the external versus internal filter. Whenever you feel stressed, just pause and ask yourself this one question. Is this something I can actually control, or can I only control my reaction to it? That simple question is like a circuit breaker. It stops that frantic feeling of frustration and puts the power right back in your hands.
Now, to help with that transition from doing to being, and to tackle that loss of professional identity, you can create an active retirement mission statement. This is not some corporate jargon. This is a personal declaration of your purpose now. It could be something like, my mission is to mentor young people in my industry, or it could be, my mission is to become a master gardener. The content isn't what's important. The act of defining your new purpose for yourself is what gives you direction.
And finally, to really cement that abundance mindset, you've got to embrace an action bias for novelty. The scarcity mindset whispers, don't try anything new. What if you fail? The abundance mindset does the opposite. It chooses action. This doesn't mean taking wild risks. It means choosing safe, exciting action over just sitting on the couch. Take that pottery class, plan that road trip, join that club. Every time you choose a new experience, you are sending a powerful message to your brain. My time is for living fully.
All right, let's move on to our 5th section, the wisdom of experience. After you put in this work, what's the payoff? What does life actually look and feel like when this new operating system is up and running? I love this because it captures the whole spirit of what we're talking about. Your ability to grow and change doesn't have an expiration date. By proactively doing this work, you are taking control. You're ensuring that your later years aren't defined by what you've lost, but are instead defined by contentment, resilience, and a real, genuine vitality. You're not just coping with getting older, you are mastering the art of living well right here and right now.
So, where do we go from here? That brings us to our final section, your first step forward. We've covered a lot, so let's boil it all down to one simple challenge to get you started on your upgrade today.
If you only remember one thing from our time together, please let it be this. A happy and successful life in your golden years is not an accident. It requires a conscious, deliberate shift away from the old world of external striving and toward a new world of internal appreciation and adaptation. That's the secret. That's the whole game.
And so here is your first step. It's a gentle one. Sometime today, just take a quiet moment and honestly ask yourself, where is that old striving mindset still running the show in my life? Where do I feel that pull to control things, to accumulate things, or to prove my worth by being busy? Just pick one area. Maybe it's with your kids or your finances, or even just how you feel on a quiet afternoon. Don't judge yourself for it. The simple, honest act of just noticing it, that is the most powerful first step you can take.
As we wrap up, just remember that the anxiety that sometimes comes with this chapter of life, it's not solved by changing your circumstances. It's solved by making these intentional shifts on the inside toward acceptance and presence. Think back to those powerful tools, the daily gratitude audit, which literally retrains your brain to find joy, and the active retirement mission statement, which lets you redefine your own purpose. These aren't just little exercises, they're the building blocks of a new foundation. So hold on to this final, reassuring thought. By starting the work of upgrading your mindset today, you are securing your absolute greatest asset, a deep, lasting emotional stability, and a quiet, profound sense of peace.